Guess there was a Barstool Sports someplace here.
We need a hotter Vampira.
I don't know who that
do
was. Guys We Fucked is Vampira, and Elvira is Call Her Daddy.
Damn.
And you know what happens to Vampira?
Hello, fuckers. How you doing? Where you been? Put your seatbelt on. Welcome to another episode of Guys We Fucked.
It's the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
I like these cameras because it helps when the light goes on. I'm like a little cat and I know where to look. We're in Mike's studio today, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Sorry, we're allowed to say the name, or is it still this slow-ass burn that you're trying to work on?
You can say the name.
It's
the network's just not
Slickback
live.
Studios. You know, when you get all the jizz in you back and it's real slick, that's why I named it that.
Yeah, that was the inspiration.
From his life experience.
Oh, I thought it was an Italian slur.
I mean, you could pick a number of reasons why we could have named it Slickback Studios. None of them are, they're all gross.
Also, and Mike in his neon sign is smoking a cigarette. I've seen Mike maybe smoke 2 cigarettes in his life. He's like trying to make a cooler persona than
I
he
didn't
actually
notice
has.
that.
It's not necessarily me.
It's
I was gonna say, that's
definitely
supposed to be you.
It's a pompadour on a fucking guy. It's definitely you. It's definitely you.
It's like Johnny Rocket.
Yeah, it does look like Johnny Rocket.
I think Johnny Rocket was actually the artist inspiration.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I would love a plate of fries and then ketchup in a smiley face formation right now. I'm craving it.
Oh my God, I want a Friendly's Conehead Sundae with the M&M.
I always want to be at Friendly's. Friendly's, I don't like.
it slaps.
It's so good.
I've
Ugh.
never had a bad meal at a Friendly's.
That
It's the
honey
real
mustard?
neighborhood spot. Like, it's not Applebee's. It's Friendly's.
I was gonna say fuck Applebee's.
But Friendly,
Fuck it to hell.
Applebee's is a much bigger chain. Friendly's is regional. A lot of people don't even know what a Friendly's is.
That's true.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Sorry for you never had, actually.
Sorry, you're never gonna experience Friendly's or Wawa.
Oh
that
my
sucks for you.
God.
That really sucks for you.
Oh, Friendly's. Whew.
If you want to email us, the email address to send that email to is sorryboutlastnightshow@gmail.com. Speaking of cats, today's subject line. My boyfriend wants me to get rid of my cat, and I think he might have OCD.
Wow.
Hi, Corinne and Krystyna. I've been listening to Guys We Fucked for about 6 or 7 years, and I love it so much.
Thank you.
I value your opinions, and I have a problem that I don't know what to do about and would love your advice. I, 25-year-old female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27-year-old male. Dump him for 6 months before we even started dating.
6 months.
Before we even started dating, he told me that he was allergic to cats and dogs and that he, quote, likes spaces a certain way.
Oh, he's weak.
And... or OCD, and therefore would prefer not to live with them. He knew I had a cat, and I told him that if it ever came down to him or the cat, I'd choose the cat.
Yep.
Good gal. So I was very clear from the start.
Yep.
About 2 months into dating, he asked that we talk about the cat thing. Please keep in mind that we do have not moved in together. I mean, I hope not. It's 6 months. And are not talking about it for the immediate future. He expressed that he was hurt that I took such a hard stance. Oh, you're right. He is weak. I told him that I really couldn't see myself getting rid of my cat for him. I mean, yeah.
That's a family member. That's
it's your
fucking
pet.
insane.
I've had the cat for about 3 years now. I'll give the shit if you've had the cat for 3 days.
Yeah.
And we are very bonded. Even if the cat sucked, you're not getting rid of that cat.
Yeah.
But I agreed to relent and consider it for the future.
Oh.
Oh, you dumb bitch.
Yuck.
He suggested I give her to my parents. Oh, how kind of him. Then he told me about a month later that he was drawing a hard boundary and did not ever want to live with a cat. Wow. I was very frustrated because he just told me that he was hurt by my hard boundary and I was confused. Yeah. So he's doing that thing where, oh, you hurt me? Oh, I'm going to hurt you now.
Oh, God.
What do I do? And I'm embarrassed about it. Since he's been visiting me, he hasn't had much trouble with allergies. Oh, liar. He doesn't sneeze or get itchy eyes. Sometimes he has tiny hives on one localized spot on his body that go away within 30 minutes.
How are you getting horny for this guy?
Well-
This is a weak man.
Well,
This is what they talk about on like Trad Wife TikTok. This is the guys they're fucking talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Exterminate him. Get him out.
I was introduced to Trout Wife not that long ago while still in my apartment with the cat. Okay, so his allergic reaction. I broke out in a rash immediately and couldn't breathe, and I still slept with my 3 cats as a child.
That's fine. You're a woman. You're allowed.
Thank you. She is also the sweetest thing ever, and and doesn't scratch or do anything bad, but he claims he is very itchy.
We literally don't need any details about the cat, miss. We're going to be on the cat side regardless.
Then he began to pressure me to make a decision. Agree to give my cat to my parents in the future or break up. Jesus.
It's pretty easy.
Sounds like a fun guy. I told him that I wasn't ready to make that decision and wanted to talk about it more, but he would get very frustrated when I brought it up. Then when I mentioned that all my friends think he should just try Zyrtec, which he refuses to do, he told me he was done. Oh boy. He broke up with me over the phone. I said, okay, and got on Hinge that night. Gal.
Amazing.
I felt like I had been manipulated and that there were a lot of red flags. You're correct. 2 days later, he apologized and said he would try to work something out. I took him back because he agreed to go to personal and couples therapy with me.
Guys, you're 6 months in your mid-20s. There's no couples therapy. You just try someone new. This is insane.
It turns out he saw that I changed a photo on my Hinge profile. Oh, so he was also on Hinge.
Oh my God. He's controlling too.
And realized he made a big mistake. I secretly think he broke up with me to force me to agree to give up my cat. This guy sucks.
Oh, God.
The way things stand now at 6 months, he has not agreed to try living with the cat in the future, and we don't talk about it much. Before he comes over, I vacuum everything.
Don't talk about the cat.
Wait, listen to this. Before he comes over, I vacuum everything, change the bedding, wipe my cat with Allerpet, feed her anti-allergen food, etc.
How good is this guy's dick?
I hope his dick is so bomb, girl, that you can't get enough of it, and he just takes you to Pound Town when he's over. See, you don't have time to talk about your
and you
fucking
said there's
cat.
photos here too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got to look at the photo after I hear all the bad things about this guy and then make a really visceral reaction.
I've suggested not letting her into the bedroom if we move in together, but nothing seems like enough, and he still won't take allergy pills, and I've yet to see another hive. I don't know that it's necessary that I hear him say he would try living with my cat in the future, but I would like to know that I'm not wasting my time. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think he might have undiagnosed OCD. Nah, he's just a cunt.
Yeah, I have OCD. This is just a weak man who wants things his way. This has nothing to. Please don't blame it on the OCD community. This has nothing to do with that.
But I am not a doctor, so have no business saying this. However, I'm wondering what Corinne thinks about this.
Yeah, no.
I've also asked him to speak with his therapist about this, but I don't think he has. I've attached photos of the two of us and also my cat.
I can't wait.
Thanks for okay.
I know I'm gonna like the cat.
The cat's cute as hell.
Oh, that's a cute cat.
That's a cute ass cat. When I was little, my only safe space were 3 cats, and I was allergic to all 3 of them. And guess what, lady? I fucking slept in bed with them every night. And then you know what I did? I had my mom take me to the doctor, and I got allergy shots so I could breathe while sleeping with the cat. That's love, baby.
This guy looks like a fucking cashier at Armani Exchange. Next. I'm good.
There you go. Yeah,
No,
this is crazy. You've already bent over backwards, and he's not giving you good future signs. You know, I think the way that you have an argument with somebody is really indicative of how pleasant your future together can be. And he's pulling out a lot of immature stops here.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want cats because he looks like he has like a Euro trashy sense of style, and he's like very metrosexual.
The cat's pooping the sand.
And I don't think he wants cat hair on his
turtleneck.
Yeah,
and his leather jacket, which cat hair doesn't get on that. But
yeah,
this motherfucker.
A man in a turtleneck? No thanks, I'm good.
What's wrong with the turtleneck?
No.
Wow. A turtleneck leather jacket combo. I actually
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that combo.
That's why we're not fucking, Mike.
Yeah.
No thanks.
And that's why we are. Oh, dropping a bomb. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna believe that now.
Oh, really? We're not fucking. Sorry, 8 women on Instagram just got pissed at him.
Yeah.
And one not on Instagram.
Oh, shit.
You know someone not on Instagram?
No, I meant like not a DM slider.
Right.
You know somebody not on Instagram.
Right. I was like, I don't know if
What
I
are they,
would trust
87?
that person. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you're still with this guy.
Yeah, you gotta, as Uncle Joey would say, cut him out.
Yeah. It's like, why are we spending so much time on this guy? Why didn't
Hang out with your cat instead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not worth it.
Words to live by.
I suffered so so much, and I still slept with my cats because I loved them, and they were the only creatures that gave me love as a child, and I needed that, and I got allergy shots, and I did it, and I was a child.
I was gonna say, I was like, you can get a series of allergy shots.
And I can be around cats now forever.
Yeah.
So what are you doing, sir? It sounds like he'd rather be right than find a solution.
Right, because Harrison is also allergic to cats, and his wife, when they met, he had a cat, and the cat's still there, and they're married now. So
There you go.
it can work out. Does the cat spend a lot of time in another room? Sure, but they have a house, so
I would say if it's true love, it could survive a cat.
yeah,
And if it's not true love, it can't survive a cat.
Yeah.
And baby girl, this ain't true love.
yeah. It's also weird that he's allergic to both cats and dogs.
I know.
That's rare.
That is rare.
I don't believe it.
I actually know one of my good friends it's the any animal danger. Like she can't go near horses either.
Right.
But just animals in general.
Right.
But she didn't get allergy shots, so I'm wondering if he got allergy shots. But honestly, I don't want him to get allergy shots. I want him to fucking walk around in his stubborn ass life and then get one hive in one designated place for 20 minutes and live without suffering.
Yeah, I think you should say that you have started an allergic reaction to him, and then also he dumped you. The wishy-washiness, the talk.
None of this is sexy.
Talk of couples therapy at the age you're at under a year is absurd. Absurd. Unnecessary.
Thank you. Next.
It's an overcorrection of generations prior who refused to go to therapy. This is an overcorrection trying to go to therapy when you're just actually incompatible.
Yeah, man. And that's so much wasted effort. You could be doing
And
so
money.
much with that effort, like in your time. You just be watching some show on Netflix. That's a better spending of your time.
Imagine how much cat scoop stuff you could. What is that called? What they
Kitty litter?
Kitty litter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, get the glitter kitty litter.
Stuff.
You should break up with them in a fun way, like take a bag of your cat's poop and put it in a bag and tie it. Don't be an asshole, and then give it to him and say, "I'm throwing you out with this cat poop. Sorry, guys.
Bye, bye, bitch. Fresh away. Is that a brand? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about cats.
Can we save the date for December 1?
I guess.
Yeah, because we've confirmed it. All right, guys. So if you're hearing this, well, when you're hearing this, our October 19th show has already passed, and hopefully it's sold out and it was the best show of our lives. And the next one is going to be December 1st at Midnight Theater. So the ticket link is not available yet, but save that date, baby, because
Yeah.
we're coming back.
And a lot of people were asking, we had to reschedule the November date because there ended up being a conflict. So if you're like, what happened to that November date? That's why it's going to be replaced by this December 1st date.
Yes, and if you want to hear more of us, I have my solo podcast is back. The Voices in Our Heads. It's back at Slickback Studios.
That's right.
Every Monday, episodes come out wherever you listen to podcasts, and pretty soon there's going to be a YouTube page because I'm going to make it one day because that to-do list keeps staring me in the face and I keep not doing it. I'm going to do it, Mike. And come see us live on the road. I have dates coming up. Chicago's going to be November 10th and 11th, and I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. These are all at Zany's Comedy Club. Sunday, November 12th. Tickets are available at KrystynaHutchinson.com. And if you fancy yourself some group therapy, which the lady who wrote us, his boyfriend might fucking need, I host it once a week on my Patreon, patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson. I just do group Zoom. I call it Therapy because am I a licensed therapist? Absolutely the fuck not. Have I read a lot of self-help books and been through hell and back? Yes, I have. So the audio from every Zoom session gets uploaded to the Patreon, and I had one yesterday, and I'm really proud of people coming to the table with some real shit, talking it out, giving suggestions, feeling better, and really like kind of recalibrating how you look at something really can help you deal with it. So I've gotten pretty good at it, and a lot of people that come to these Zooms are really like well-informed and have a lot of good suggestions. So there's something to learn, and it's super cheap. So sign up for it at patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson.
And for me, you could see me live in New York. You can see me on Thursday, October 26th in Brooklyn at Old Man Hustle Brooklyn Comedy Club. That's an 8 p.m. show. It's a one-off of new material called Scary New. It's me, Ryan Long, Danny Polish, Chuck Levfer, Chloe LaBranche, and John Campanelli running just some new material at Brooklyn Comedy Club. Ticket link is available in the link in my bio at Philanthropy Gal. And then also on the road, I have a 2024 date which is Washington, D.C., D.C. Comedy Loft. That's February 29th through March 2nd, full weekend there. And then, of course, the next gash is Wednesday, November 8th at 8 p.m. Again, I'm just telling listeners before I put it on Instagram, because then it'll be gone in 24 hours. But those shows are always fun, and that is a show exclusive to the Comedy Store. So everyone says, "But do it here, do it there." It's not doing it anywhere else except for the Comedy Store. So if you want to see it, you gotta be in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California to see it. We're going back again to the Wednesday 8 p.m. Slot because 10:30 was too late for LA. It's the city that sleeps. You guys love sleeping. New York.
Dude, I had a show at 10:30 at the store. I hadn't been to LA in so long, and I'm like, you guys.
Quietest sold out show I've ever done in my life. I mean, insane. Okay, guys.
If you're gonna come, have fun.
And I was like, it was. I got to be honest. You started my birthday rough. Okay.
Ooh,
I how can you be this? I was like, it was so funny. Like Suba actually gave him a talking to because she was like, Corinne put together a really nice show for you guys, and you're really not appreciating it. Nice. And I was like, Suba, I fucking love you.
She's great.
Okay. What else? Oh, and then of course, Without a Country, my news show. I mean, there's a lot in the news lately. I did hours of research and explained the whole situation between Hamas and Palestine and Israel on this week's episode of Without a Country. So if you want to kind of understand it in layman's terms before, just blindly posting an emoji of the Israel or Palestine flag, I do recommend you do that, but whatever, doesn't matter. Or just don't take a hard stance. That's also a thing to do. Whatever you want. That's all happening on that episode, so I don't have to talk about it on any other podcast. Again, Without a Country, it's on the YouTube and it is on the Instagram. Check it out.
How you doing?
Good. Oh, you know what? I was listening to the C Word because it's the only thing that can get me to clean my apartment. It's the only time my apartment gets clean is when Alyssa Bennett and Lena Dunham are talking to me. And I had never listened to the Vampira episode, which is crazy. But I started listening to it in honor of Halloween. Very interesting. And Alyssa Bennett often talks about this theme of women who originate certain concepts never getting the credit, especially during their lifetime of doing it. And I got to tell you, the story of Vampira is Guys We Fcked and Call Her Daddy.
Are you serious?
Guys We Fcked is Vampira and Elvira is Call Her Daddy.
Damn.
And you know what happens to Vampira?
She goes broke and no one wants to fuck her anymore.
She dies penniless. Yep, she dies penniless and
alone
and ostracized by her community. So yeah, I was listening to this and I was like, well, doesn't this sound familiar?
Wow.
Yeah, basically, Vampira wanted to do things her way. She created the character, this vampiric character that to host, a late night show about scary movies, and then she wasn't like doing anything the way that they wanted her to do. And so they hired what's her name? Cassandra Peterson to play Elvira. And Vampira even actually tried to sue Elvira, and she lost.
Damn.
Yep. And so a lot of people, kind of then turned their backs on Vampira because they're like, why are you bullying Elvira? And she was like,
oh shit.
I'm not saying that Cassandra Peterson did it out of ill intention. I think she was just an actor who needed work. So it's not necessarily. So I mean, I guess there was a Barstool Sports someplace here.
We need a hotter Vampira.
I don't know who that was. Yeah, and Vampira was pretty hot too. She was fucking. She fucked I believe she fucked Marlon Brando, Orson Welles, and
that pussy good.
What a range.
Who else did she fuck? Did she fuck Boris Karloff?
Jesus, good for her. She should host Guys We Fcked.
And I think she actually fucked a 21-year-old Elvis, they said too. Is that right? On a timeline?
I'm searching.
Again, I'm pretty sure this is all, again, when you're, we're clear. The Marlon Brando is 100% and the Orson Welles is like 100%. Or they were like, they had very deep friendships and stuff. They fucked. But yeah. It's, she fucked a lot of interesting celebrities and also had a very, very interesting upbringing. You know, obviously, like she created Vampira because she was rebelling against how she was brought up, very, you know, button up. And her mom, you know, made her work in like a tuna fish factory.
Sick.
And she was like, I forgot her real name, but she was like, you're this bitch and you work in a tuna factory. And she was like, fuck no, I'm Vampira. I'm going to go live my life and show my titties to people. And her mom's like, no, you're not. You're just a fish girl. And she's like, I'm more than that. And then she became more than that.
Yeah.
Very inspiring.
But then she got trampled by a...
Listen, I mean, anyone who's really into like that genre is very familiar with Vampira, and Vampira does still show up on a lot of like horror merch when you go to like a Monster A Go-Go or something. Shout out, my favorite store in LA. Why did you move to a place that I'm literally never near? They're in like East LA now. Come on, guys. But Monster A Go-Go hot store. It's like an independent hot topic. But yeah, she still does appear on stuff, but obviously culturally, Elvira much bigger.
Yeah.
Campier, a little sexier. More not like sexier, like she is more sexually appealing, but like they vamped it up a little bit more. The titties a little bit more out, you know. Different time. A little. She's, you know, Elvira's a little more modern though. So
wow. So this has been happening since for decades.
Yeah. Well, when I heard Alyssa talking about that concept on another episode months ago, I was like, that's a good point to make. That's like one of her favorite patterns to trace. You know, in pop culture history is the people that originate the thing very often do not get credit for it, are not remembered. So,
and I wonder if
tight, everyone.
Your brilliant idea is going to be scooped up by someone younger and hotter, and they're going to get richer off of it. I wonder if that'll happen more because of social media. Like if somebody's on the rise or they're not big yet and they do something really innovative and unique and you're already big, you could kind of just take it, or you already have some following. You could take it and fucking steal it and no one knows. So.
Yeah. It's also the problem is like being a little bit ahead of your time. So like even as successful as we were, it was still, you know, what we were talking about and podcasting as a whole was still pretty niche when we launched, you know?
Absolutely. I've been thinking about Pamela Anderson. I love that woman so much.
She's great.
And I loved when she went to
Paris Fashion Week without makeup.
Yes, I really liked that. I was like, damn, dude, that's a good move. And I thought about, you know, going to an event. I know we wrote a sketch a while ago about like the girl version of Jackass.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be like physical stunts of like stapling a phone bill to our tit. It would more be things that are scary for women, much like stapling a phone bill to your chest would be for a man. And one of the scenarios we came up with was going to a nightclub with no makeup.
Right.
And like and taking it one step further than Pamela took it, and not even having a cute dress, like wearing like a shitty stained outfit, and how like that to me that's like, you know, like a nightmare. Like, you know, I was at the ball and I looked like shit and everybody looked good, and I was thinking, I'm like, if I went to an event with no makeup on, I couldn't relax.
Oh, really? I could easily do it, especially now at this age. Because I like so often I'll just be caught off guard, and my young, vivacious friends will be like, "You want to go to like a strip club?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in sweatpants and I have no makeup on." Sure, you know, like I just don't care anymore. It's fine.
No, that's good. That's the wiser way to think about it. But I'm like, well, I was trying to interrogate. I'm like, what about it wouldn't sit right with me? And it's like this, it goes back to people pleasery, I think, of like, I just want to look good. Like, I don't like not looking good. I want to look my best all the time.
Right.
You know, especially in an event like that.
Well, I had wanted to do a couple of years ago, I guess the tour that I had planned right when COVID hit. I was going to do an entire stand-up tour without makeup. And then I was like, well, I don't want to just bury my career, you know? Because the thing is, though, so, you know, you would think it would be an easier thing to do with us having a primarily female audience. And I was like, I actually think it would be worse.
Yes,
because they would be more judgmental about it.
Women are judgier, absolutely. And it's like...
Yeah, there would be pictures, there would be rude comments all over the internet. And so it's like, you know, we're kind of keeping ourselves prisoner to this.
But are we also keeping ourselves prisoner by continuing to wear makeup? Is what I was wondering, because you already saw my face with makeup. When you see it without, it's not vastly different, but like Pamela Anderson is goddamn gorgeous. But she looks like she's ill in these photos. Like, but not her like happiness and stuff, but I just know I wouldn't feel like dealing with people's, because there's so many jobs that I had, like 9 to 5 jobs before we quit them to do comedy full time, where I would come in without makeup and just be met with horror.
I mean, I've done episodes of the podcast without makeup when I didn't feel like putting it on. I do shows regularly without makeup. I mean,
And maybe the lighting is helpful, but I wouldn't feel like dealing with the reactions.
yeah.
And then I'm like, I gotta stop wearing. I'm like, should I just stop wearing makeup? And then I was like, nope, not gonna do that.
Well, I think
I don't need a bunch.
I think it would be kind of similar to the Vampira thing. I think that if we started not wearing makeup, it would be ahead of our time, and we would ultimately be ostracized by society because of our ugly no makeup faces. And then maybe in a decade or two, having no makeup on will be the norm. Especially, sorry, Ronnie, by the looks of Gen Z as a whole. So
right.
we have a young person in the studio today. She can't even hear. She can't even hear. I'm just trashing Gen Z. Not her specifically, though.
We've done worse in the studio, I think, to that generation. We've said worse.
I love it. I don't want to encourage Gen Z to dress any better. Okay.
Correct.
I love what you're wearing.
Yeah.
That's why
Like the baggy pants.
You're just looking to ride this wave.
Well, that's why there was a gay gasp in the front row when I was doing stand-up yesterday when I said I was 38, and the guy go, "No, you're not." He was like a guy in his early 20s, and I was like, "No, that's just because you're used to Gen Z women who took a T-shirt out of the Lost and Found." Right. And I love that. I love that trend. It's good for everybody. Oh my God, I love it. Please keep riding on it. We had crazy fat, low-rise jeans. Millennials did, please.
Yeah.
Even when I was in my early 20s, I was never fit for low-rise jeans. That was not a thing I was doing. High-rise forever.
Low-rise jeans I wore in the 7th grade because I was in love with my teacher.
We weren't allowed to wear shit like that. We would get sent to the principal's office.
I did have a teacher. I want to say her name because it's so funny, but I'm not going to because that's rude. She was a math teacher. She looked Amish. She was not Amish, but she looked it. And she asked me what I was wearing, and she was like, "I can see your vagina." And I was like, "No, you can't."
I can like she mean the outline, or
I didn't know.
Oh,
but
it was so low that she was.
But she can't see my vagina. I'm like, you cannot see my vagina.
Right.
You could see my flat ass stomach.
Right.
She didn't like that comment.
No.
I was really mad. She called me and she said, "You're dressed like a slut." And that was the first time I ever got slut shamed. Low-rise jeans.
Yeah,
by a teacher.
Teachers do start a lot of the slut shaming, and it's also weird. Like, it's weird because there is this like, are you jealous of a 12-year-old? And I think teachers are.
Yeah.
And it's a little that's a little
weird.
concerning.
That is concerning.
It's concerning.
Ugh.
Oh, it's because I think that teaching in a school environment almost mentally puts them in a school environment again.
Oh, right.
And then it's like they're transported back
school.
to when they didn't get any male attention. But it's like, who the fuck wants the attention of fucking? When I was in 7th grade, well, maybe when I was in 7th grade, I did want the attention of 7th grade boys, but I quickly, figured out that was not the way to salvation.
When I was in 7th grade, 7th grade boys didn't exist to me. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Get the fuck out of my way. I just wanted
this one guy, shout out Greg Casino. He was pretty hot.
Nice. Hey,
name.
Greg.
I have no idea what happened to him.
I was into all the teachers and all my friends' dads.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's weird. Guys, in November on Guys We Fcked, we are dedicating our episodes in November. This is an idea that we've had for quite some time that we're really excited about. We're focusing on men.
Yes.
Masculinity. It's going to be called Men, a Celebration. And our interviews are just going to be focused on different aspects of manhood, of manliness, of masculinity, from the perspective of men who have a lot of unique life experiences.
Men across the spectrum.
Yeah. What is a man? I don't know. I don't.
That's a follow-up to what is a woman.
Yeah. Oh, getting deep.
Different angle.
Yeah.
Bit of a different angle on ours.
But I've had a lot of conversations with because I talk about this, a lot on the podcast, because sometimes we'll get women emailing us about a guy that they're seeing who's doing some atrocious things. And so I always try to, just for my own mental sanity and to not paint men in a bad light,
Who would want to do that?
Not me. I have to remind myself and the audience, but a lot myself, that like there are some incredible men out there. And I've had conversations with my male friends the last couple months since we started talking about this idea about like, what does it mean to you, like be a man? What does that mean to you? And I gotta say, I didn't get a lot of straightforward answers. They were like, oh, I never thought about that. I'm like, really? Because masculinity really affects men in in kind of a detrimental way. Like it's shamey. It's like the Catholic Church in a way. Like there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame to it.
Yeah.
I feel.
Well, I think there's like a lot of pressure to provide, not enough for anyone to actually be doing it, but
I mean, in the circles that we've run in, that's true. But I don't know about everywhere.
But the pressure, nonetheless.
The providing thing is it's an irrelevant point at this point. Like in 2023,
that's why they feel like they have no purpose, right? So I think a lot of the problem with like toxic masculinity is honestly like men feel like societally they don't have like what is our purpose? What is our place? What are we supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
And it's just like, how about just be a decent person?
Yeah, honestly, your place can be a kind, caring, loving partner, and then if you have kids, a kind, caring, loving dad, and then also like we talked about a lot. There's a lot of men. The men. Like particularly my boyfriend has a lot of friends, and I was blown away by that, and that made me realize how men don't have as many friends on average that women have, and they don't do friend hangs as much as myself and my female friends do. Have you noticed that?
It depends. I've had boyfriends who have a lot of friends, and I've had boyfriends who don't have a lot of friends. I think that also like men need to be a little bit more creative with their gender roles, right? I think women got very creative with their gender roles much quicker, and men were like if I don't provide, if I don't make money and fuck lady, what do I do? And it's just like, well, sew or have a book club or drink a glass of wine.
Start a garden.
Yeah,
put your hands in the dirt.
Women had a lot of other options that we got to quite quickly.
Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of sports lately, just because when you have a boyfriend, you watch sports and war documentaries, and I'm like, okay, this sport, I like sports, I do get it.
We've lost her.
No.
Yeah, this is
Men, a celebration.
Shocking.
We've lost Krystyna.
No. Well, rugby, my favorite sport. I mean, that's just truly. It's just a pile of Jason Momoas touching each other's butts. Is rugby. I cannot recommend it enough.
Outrageous that you like rugby and not football.
I know I do like football. EAGLEX. Duh. Come on. I fucking love football. I've been watching football since I was like in middle school when I moved to Philly, back to Philly in middle school. And I do love. I fucking love sports. Sports are really fun. It's fun to cheer. And then also you think about like sports it's an ancient tradition. Like when we toured the Mayan ruins,
they
talked about
very different. I got to be honest. We've knocked sports for years on this show.
No, we have. We totally have.
I have to call ourselves out on this.
No,
I've never heard you say I love sports. We were even like, I believe we pitched a show that was anti-sports.
It was called Anything But Sports. Yes. No, but meaning when I don't love it. Like I'm not invested emotionally in any way in a sport. The only time I've ever been invested in a sport is the Eagles when they are go to the Super Bowl. I get really excited.
Yeah, I love the Knicks. I genuinely love basketball and the Knicks, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm not enveloped in the world of sports. But you know who I love? I love sport. I love that men have sports.
Yeah,
it's nice. Get together with your bros, fucking drink some beers.
The problem is that it ruins half of every weekend. That's my problem with it.
And Thursday.
I don't like when a guy, his mood changes when his team loses. Because when we were over Mike's and the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, I was like, all right, they lost. Okay, let's go.
Right.
Like I dated a guy once who like if his team lost, he would just be sullen the whole day. And I'm like, come on, stop.
That means he doesn't have anything else going on in his life. But no, I mean, that's why it's easier. I don't know that I could ever date a football guy again because I dated a football guy for a while and that was rough. That's too much time.
You just have one team? Because some guys have multiple teams and I'm like, just pick one. Come on.
It was one team, but it felt like this team played more than other teams.
It's an interesting perspective.
I'm also like this team playing 2 to 4 games a week?
Or is he rewatching it? Because that's another thing guys do. They fucking rewatch sports games sometimes.
All the time.
But then you watch the game, you comment on the game, you text and call your friends if they're not with you while you're watching the game, and then you watch a bunch of dudes who used to play the game talk about the game you just saw, and you're just as riveted. And I'm like, you could be doing better stuff with your time.
It's called the post-game recap. Thank you very much.
After the game, there's a show where they talk about the game that just happened and they show clips from that game.
Yeah.
That's why you can't remember important holidays or birthdays and shit. You're too busy reliving a game.
Listen, I knew I 100% wasn't a lesbian when one time a guy looked at his phone and said, "Oh, you got to see this play," and then went like this, and then I watched it, and I was like, "Man, I'm thirsty for that dick." Glug glug.
Go team. Give me that dong. Give me that dong. So yeah, so we want to focus the month of November
I forgot we were in the middle of a promo.
Yeah.
I just was
on masculinity.
Just the taste.
I would be curious. There's a lot of facets of masculinity that I would like to get into, but I'd be curious to hear from our male listeners, male identifying listeners. What does being a man mean to you?
Well, Krystyna, it means fucking dudes and not calling them back.
Yeah. But also, like, I'd be curious, like, what do you like about masculinity and what do you not like? Because I feel like every person in the world has masculine energy and feminine energy, but they have
Except for that cat guy.
Yeah, he only has feminine energy. No, he only has cunt energy.
Yeah.
But we all have our unique balance of it. And so I think that I often see like really machismo guys completely deny that they have any sense of feminine energy. They're not outright saying that, but like don't touch my butt, I'm not gay. I'm like, all right.
Right.
But yeah, I'd just be curious to hear from our male listeners about it.
Well, you said you've been posing the question, what is a man?
Yeah, what does it mean to be a man to you?
But
what is the role?
But I don't know that I can, but like, so like if someone asks you what does it mean to be a woman, what do you say? Because I feel like it's just so different.
Yeah. I think when you ask that question and I think about it, I more so go, how do I lean into my femininity?
Right.
Not really maybe I posed the question wrong because it's like, what is a woman? No one knows.
Right. Because I feel like
tits.
I feel like when I think of what a woman is, it's a lot of qualities that I don't have. Like I think
like
of a
nurturing.
like a big earth goddess with like a belly full of baby, very ethereal, very
long hair.
Penn Badgley's wife,
yes, clavicle,
midwife, clavicle, long hair. Well, I do have the long hair now. I gotta say, having this hair this long really does. We got it, Mike. Having hair this long, he's tapping on his wrist at Slickback Studios to let us know.
Our guest is running a little late, so it's.
Yeah, and I do feel a lot more feminine with my princess hair. Because I haven't had hair this long. I don't know, maybe like in 10 years, probably.
It's
like
a good look.
When we started, of course, guys like it because they go, "Oh, it tones down the abrasiveness." They can't hear me as much because the hair is blocking out some of the loudness of the voice. I think, but it has been weird. Every guy has been like, "Oh, I love your hair. I love your hair.
Wow,
it's hair.
I like to pull it while
hair
I'm
so long. I love lady,
long blonde lady hair with titties.
Long blonde lady hair.
Give me that pussy."
Yeah.
I also think when I think of being a woman, I don't think much of the Mother Earth version. I think more of the divine feminine.
Right.
And to me, feminine is like the femininity, like very sexy and very. But the thing is, like, and just like men, there's so many different types of women. There are women in the world that really lean into their sexuality, that fucking reek it, and you walk into the room and you're like, who is that?
Right.
Regardless of how they look, it's just a vibe that they carry that's very sexual. There's some women that don't give a rat's ass about what they look like, what they wear. They're a fucking engineer. They have kids and they're doing their thing. And I'm like, damn, she didn't buy into the crap that society pushed on her. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
There's just so many types of women, and there are so many types of men. It just doesn't seem like as much. But I say that because I'm not a man. So tell me, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll meet them. We'll introduce you to a couple welcome to our neighborhood, full of men,
Yeah.
different types,
Yeah.
different sets. Some short, some tall, some skinny, some fat.
Some happy, some sad. Some smart, some not that smart.
not
It's not
smart,
that smart.
no.
Very smart. All right, guys.
Our guest.
Our guest is very smart.
Yes.
She's lovely. She's a woman.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comedians. She's been one of my favorite comedians since I was like 19 years old.
Make sure to say that right into her face when she walks in.
She was like my first favorite comedian, other than Gilda Radner. Like my
I've
first.
liked you since I was a kid, and you were an adult.
I'm younger. No, I mean, people say that to when people say that to me, they're like, "Oh, I've been listening to you since I was like 18." I'm like, "That's fuck." I don't know. I just think that's.
Oh,
I
I
think
like
that's
it. It doesn't bother me at all. No.
I love it. And yeah, she's one of the great stand-up comedians, and we're really happy to have her on the show for a second time. The first time was in LA.
Yeah.
And
that interview was in LA. That's
such
right.
a good interview.
She gives a great interview, and I just saw some of her new material actually in LA, and I got very excited about the topics that she's speaking about.
Oh yay, yeah. She's one of those comics that can make me belly laugh till I cry. Like she touches on exactly the shit that I think about, and I just really love it. And you're gonna love her too, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to Guys We Fucked,
Nikki Glazer.